In this video, we are going to learn about 30, 60, 90 triangles, but before we dive into those, let's remind ourselves about 45, 45, 90 triangles. So remember that a 45, 45, 90 triangle has, of course, angles of 45 degrees, and 90 degrees. The sides that are across from the 45s are the same length because they're both 45 degrees, right? Same angle means same length across. So if I have 1 and 1, there they go. For the long side, remember that we have the square root of 2. And in order to get from one side to another, to calculate them, if I'm going from the short side to a long side, I'm going to be multiplying by root 2. And if I'm going from the long side to the short side, we're getting smaller, so I would divide by the square root of 2. So let's practice. If I have 3 for a side length over here, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. It tells me that. That means I know that x has to also be 3. Now to find the hypotenuse, that would be finding a larger side. That means I need to multiply, right? Get a larger amount. Multiply by root 2. So y has to be 3 root 2, right? 3 times root 2. Now let's look at another one. I have a short side length of 3 root 2, which means that the other short side length has to also be 3 root 2. So this final triangle, we have the hypotenuse of root 10. So in order to get the smaller side, we have to divide by the square root of 2. So I have the square root of 10 divided by the square root of 2. These are both radicals, so I can divide the insides and get the square root of 5. So both of these side lengths are the square root of 5. So let's talk about 30, 60, 90 triangles, which have a slightly different pattern. As you have probably guessed by the name, we have different angles now. I've got 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and then a right angle for 90 degrees. The side across from 30 degrees in the most common rendition of this triangle is 1. 1 is across from 30. The hypotenuse is always twice the size of the short side, twice the size, so 2. And the middle side length, or the side that's across from 60 degrees, is root 3 times bigger than the shortest side. So 1 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 3. So let's put this into practice because that's going to help. I have the shortest side length right here, so that means to get the longest side length, I need to multiply by 2. I'll end up with 18. 9 times 2. To get the medium side length, I know from the short side I'm getting larger, so I need to multiply by the square root of 3 because this is the middle side length, or the side length across from 60 degrees. So 9 root 3 is what x would equal. But we're not always given the short side length. If I'm given the long side length, I would have to divide by 2, since this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? A different triangle. So that would make x 6. And then to get the medium side length, I would have to multiply, because I'm still getting larger there, by the square root of 3, giving me 6 root 3. All right, let's try this with a different short side length. I have 11 root 3. That doesn't change anything at all. I still, to get from the short side to the hypotenuse, need to multiply by 2. Just remember that when you multiply by 2, which is not in a radical, it's going to multiply with the 11. So I will get 22 root 3. The root 3 is untouched. It's not in a radical, or the root 3 is in a radical, so it is not touched. From the short side to the medium side, still, we are going to multiply by the square root of 3. So in this case, the 11 does not get multiplied, but the radicals will multiply together. So I have 11 root 3 times root 3, which is the same thing as 11 times root 9. Now the square root of 9 is 3. So 3 times 11 is 33. All right, let's do one more. I have the medium side length this time. It's really hard to find the long side length from the medium side length, so instead we're just going to find the short side length first. Now we're getting smaller, so that means we need to divide, and it's going to be with the square root of 3 since we're working with the medium side length. 20 divided by the square root of 3 needs to be rationalized, so I'll multiply by root 3 over root 3, which gives me 20 root 3 over root 9, which is 3. So that is the value of x, 20 root 3 over 3. In order to find the hypotenuse from the short side, as always, we're going to multiply by 2. Remember that when you multiply a fraction like 20 root 3 over 3 by 2, you're really multiplying by 2 over 1. So it's only going to multiply with that top 20. So y will be 40 root 3 over 3. And that doesn't simplify, so there's your final answer for the hypotenuse. Thanks for watching.